Yeah, you look good. The hair looks good. Everything's fine.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
that's another issue I have to talk about. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I don't know how this is gonna go, but we shall see.
Okay.
There you go. And you are
I'm Dorothy Shephard, Minister of Social Development.
social development. Now, after all,
Yeah.
after this, my welfare check might be cut off. No.
Now, see, you know what? I look at your Facebook.
You do look at me. Are we friends on Facebook?
You were asking everyone to give you questions for the Minister of Welfare.
Yeah, I said.
Charles, we deliver 60 programs.
This
in
is starting.
department.
This is starting very good. Okay.
And it's the Department of Social Development.
I just want to say welfare. I was too lazy to write social development.
Yeah, is
So
that what
that's
it was?
By the way, how's your
Yes.
health?
My health is really good, thank you.
I know it's
very
good. The way you run away from me, you are very.
Yeah.
You are healthy. When I see you on the street, you move fast.
I don't run away from you.
Unfortunately, sadly, you had cancer.
Yes.
How long ago was that?
I was diagnosed a year ago, December. So it's you know I finished treatments last July, chemotherapy. I finished radiation 2 weeks before the last election. So now we're 1 full year in without any treatments.
So that's good. Very glad to hear
Yeah,
that.
I'm doing great.
And so your mind is right. Is good. I'm not.
I think it's good.
You're from St. John.
I'm from St. John.
I'm not going to get an uppercut across the head, St. John style. So, okay, let's start.
Sure.
What is, we'll say the word, social development?
Social development is the delivery of services to our community on many different levels. There's social assistance, which is income assistance. There is child protection. There are family services with regards to building stronger families, through our social assistance and family protection systems. There is senior care, which is the biggest part of our department's file. Seniors and long-term care. So there's a huge aspect to the Department of
There's a
Social
lot.
Development. Yeah.
There's a lot. Last time I was here was with Susan Stoke. Remember her?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mike Holland was the executive assistant.
Yes,
Now he's
minister now.
minister. I
Yeah.
know how time flies.
Yeah.
Boy, my ADHD is working overtime today. Flashbacks. Okay, so question is this. It can save a lot of departments, and that's where a lot of the issue, that's what we're going to talk about. People don't know that.
Right.
And I'm glad you read my Facebook. So people that leave comments, you read them. So they can leave comments here. And if they get bad, I remove them from my friend list, so-called friends. Why is a person on, oh, by the way, when am I going to get a raise?
Not this year.
Not this year?
No.
Don't I deserve a raise?
We all deserve raises.
So I'm not going to get a raise this year?
I don't see it happening this year.
Okay.
But we are looking into social development reform.
Okay, that's we'll see that. So no raise this year. Okay, that's what somebody asked me to ask you.
Sure.
Okay, why is a person a social assistant in the first place?
Oh, there's many reasons, and they're complex. Someone, probably one of the smaller amounts is because someone has fallen on hard times. They're in a transition period in their life, and they need some short-term assistance, and we help out with that. There are other times when individuals could have medical issues or disability, and they will be on social assistance perhaps a much longer time. And indeed, some people are on social assistance a good part of their life. There are others who will be on social assistance because of extreme and extenuating circumstances in their family. It could be family violence. It could be a child illness, or an individual's illness that could cause
There's all
those
reasons.
things.
They're all good. They're
Yeah.
all reason
It could be
legitimate.
mental illness.
Mental illness.
Yeah.
Here we go. And we also have an issue like the frigate program when it shut down. There's a lot of people after EI they had to go on welfare. They lost everything. And the Irving has a blacklist. Like, if you're on the blacklist, you can't work. Of course, you're not going to answer that. But what I'm trying to say is everybody has a reason to be on welfare. Everybody has a story. You know that as a politician. And there's always 5, 10 sides to every story.
Everyone has a story.
Should we spend millions of dollars, try to say that to Blaine Higgs, and have an inquiry and find out why I'm on welfare? Why people are on welfare? Why?
I do think one of the things that publicly gets missed are the reasons and the stories. And that I think a lot of times, and particularly with homelessness, we lose sight of the individual and we lose sight of the complexities that have caused them to be in that position. And so, no, I don't think we should be spending millions of dollars in order to find that out. However, I do feel very strongly that we have to maintain advocacy for those who have come to points in their life where they need our assistance. And we need to maintain compassion and we need to maintain reality so that we know that they have a story. And we can't just assume that they don't. So that's really important to me, and I'm not sure how we're going to continue to convey it, but I do have to tell you, with regards
like this.
With regards to homelessness, I'm very concerned.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry
very
to cut
concerned
you off.
about the
Like they say
stories.
to me, oh, get a job, McDonald's, Tim Hortons. Why is it McDonald's, Tim Hortons? How come I take pictures? How come they can't say get a job with the government? Following the premier, take pictures, but I got to keep my mouth shut if I take pictures. I don't know if I could do that. You know what
I don't know if you could do that, Charles.
That'd be very hard. But why McDonald's and Tim Hortons?
Well, you're generalizing comments from maybe a number of people.
I call them idiots.
Well, why not? Not everyone is ready for employment. And there's a whole process to that, right?
Yeah.
And we have mechanisms to help empower people through post-secondary education training and labor, through social development. We have mechanisms to help move people on to employment. We don't stipulate where people should work. We want people to have their own ambitions about what they want to accomplish in life.
And if they have ADHD, voila, whatever they like, they have the energy to excel.
Right.
But to find out what they like.
Exactly.
My job, I like to agitate politicians. I like to hunt them.
I've
Focus,
noticed
Charles.
that.
Okay, that's why you run fast. Okay. Are the numbers getting worse? Now, St. John, what were you doing in 2008?
In 2008, I was still running my paint store.
The pink store.
I was a business owner.
Remember Bernard Lord?
Yes.
Remember Michelle Houghton?
Yes.
What's she doing now?
I've not talked with Michelle in a long time.
Anyway, her husband, oh boy, he's tall. Yeah, want to grab my neck. Okay, never mind. The by-election, remember that?
Yes.
They spent about $20 million, and they had tears in their eyes. They said, oh my God, poverty in St. John is so bad. Remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? Oh, everybody was, Diddy Laundry was going around.
Mm-hmm.
The smell is terrible, poverty. But now it looks like it spread a lot from St. John to Fredericton, to Moncton, to Miramichi. It looks like it was just the north end and the south end of St. John that was really poor. Is the numbers way up than 10 years ago?
Actually, I think your perception is very different than mine. But statistically, we're at the lowest we're at the lowest numbers of individuals receiving social assistance in the history of the province. 22,000.
Why?
I assume that we're making gains with empowering people to move on to employment. I think there are different avenues that people resource, with regards to, and with EI. I believe we have an aging population, and so when someone reaches 65, they're going to transfer to old age security and guaranteed income security, right? And that has taken that also has moved people out of poverty. So there's many reasons. But I also have to say though that in many cases of that number, we have families and individuals dealing with some serious complexities that will make it a little harder to move them on.
How about these homeless people that have no fixed address? Maybe that's the problem.
Well, we're actually working in a number of situations with trying to, and we have established, for instance, at the Victoria Health Centre, we have about 22 or 24 individuals who receive their monthly benefits by going to the Victoria Health Centre.
Oh, that's good.
Not only can they receive their benefits, but then they get to talk to a medical personnel who can sort of give them a quick little checkup and understand if they're okay, see if they have any needs that aren't being
Public
met.
relation. That's
Yes.
important. Like St. Johners, public relation, not snob to the poor. public relations. And there's a lot of good people here in
Yeah,
Fredericton.
there is a lot of good people.
But there's a lot of bad people too. But anyway, we're not going to go down that road.
We have you to work that out for us.
Yeah, this used to be brown. Okay, now, there you go. So what we were talking about earlier. What's your plan for this winter for these homeless people, these tent city people? Did I say people? Look, I'm just... it's bad.
Everyone is asking me that, and I'm not going to divert the question.
No kidding.
But
Here we go.
we are working on a couple of strategies right now.
How?
They are not fixed. We need a location. We need to.
Did you
we
go
need to
outside?
pull resources.
Getting
Yes.
cold? Getting cold a
Yeah.
little bit.
No, I know, and we know our window is very short here.
Mhm.
And
Why didn't you do that earlier?
We have been working. Since last winter.
Behind the scene?
Since last winter, when everyone came together to open me out of the cold shelter, very quickly, and I think we got that done quite fast.
Yep, you did. Jeff Carr did a good job.
Right, and gee, maybe I helped. So anyhow,
maybe. Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
So
welfare check is going to be cut off.
and
Okay,
the
go
community
ahead.
came together, right? But the one benefit out of that sadness that it had to happen in the first place, but the one really good thing that happened was that from that day on, all of those community groups kept meeting on a very consistent basis to try to plan a longer term strategy. And so that work never stopped. Every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, these groups have been meeting together to plan and prepare. And so I can't give you the details today, but I want you to know that we are not only working on it, but we will have something for you soon, and we'll keep you in the loop.
Since you're my friend on Facebook, you'll send me a private email, and when you get what you're going to say, we could do this
I'll
again.
make sure Jason reaches out to you.
Jason,
Yeah.
we don't mention no names here.
Oh, sorry.
Because once the government is done, when you're done, we want him to get charged.
Oh, okay.
We want him
Sorry.
to work, we don't want no connection. Okay, how many homeless people is there in New Brunswick? Do you know that?
The number of homelessness throughout New Brunswick? No, I don't know that number right here and now.
Okay, and the next time we have a meeting. we'll
Sure,
find out.
I know that that in Moncton, I know that we're looking, we're up over 100, we believe.
100?
And I think here in Fredericton, the numbers are still unqualified.
They're all hidden here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Listen, this was brought up to me this morning. I didn't know this. Does a native on welfare on the reserve get less than the people off the reserve?
Social assistance could vary. But I can't tell you that answer right away. I'll get you the answer.
Again?
But
We're
remember,
going to have a good follow-up.
but remember that there are
Federal.
there's federal and provincial dollars that could get
Can you look
could
into
get
that
mixed
for me?
together. Yep. No,
Send me a
we,
private note on
we'll,
Facebook.
we'll send you an answer.
Never
for
mind
that.
him.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Your favorite subject. Old folks home.
You mean senior citizens, residents, or nursing homes?
There's a special care home,
Yeah,
there's
there is.
old folks home, and I'm going to tell you something right now. In 2008, you know who Brian Kenny is?
Yes.
And I saw him right in front of this Centennial building, and I saw him, his eyes was about this big. He had just been appointed minister, special care home, and I said, "Hey, minister." He looks at me, "Charles, you should see the money involved. I don't know what we're going to do in the future." He was, in my language, scared shitless. Now, that was 10 years ago. Where are we now?
Where are we now with?
Money, the costs, everything.
Well, it's no secret we have an aging demographic. But I think that one of the unfortunate things that people really focus on is considering that aging population is a detriment to our society. And it's not. It's going to have some challenges, but it's got some really great rewards to it too. Our aging population are not only working longer because people are healthier and they want to work longer. I certainly don't see myself retiring at 65. So they're a great asset.
You sure you're going to have a good pension?
They're a great asset to our economy, and they're the absolute strength of our volunteer base in this province.
Yeah.
So right now we know that we need some senior care beds. We know that we need more
Money.
nursing homes, and we've got a plan in place for that.
What's the budget?
What's the budget?
What's the budget? What did Blaine Hayes put down the budget down 25% or? Your budget?
No, actually, no. My budget increased last year.
Increase?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not cutting you off there.
Yeah, no.
We're just going there
Yeah.
just to go. So,
You just want to get all the questions in.
yeah, no, I am going to get all the questions in. So, don't worry, he'll be looking at me.
right.
We're doing good. Okay. Now, the battle with the union. Explain to me, did you meet with, when's the last time you met with them?
The negotiating teams last met back in July, if I'm not mistaken. There hasn't been a meeting since then. I met with union representatives at my constituency office back in March, I believe.
You're not scared, you're from St. John.
And, well, you know what? They're passionate about their cause. I understand wanting more. I would love to give them everything they want. We have a reality in this province that we are fiscally challenged, and so the negotiating part of this must continue.
It must continue. And you're at the table? Or your representative?
Representatives are at the table.
Sometimes some representatives don't have good public relations skills, not like you. You know, right now, you're good because you're being nice for half an hour. Okay, how many unionized home is there? And non-union, how does that work?
We have 64 nursing homes in the province.
64?
And
These are for special care people?
no, those are nursing homes.
Nursing, what's the difference?
Well, nursing homes are a higher acute level of care. We have special care homes,
What's that?
which are have a lower level of physical need and demands, but they need care. They need individuals might need their meals regularly and have their medications overseen.
And the other
that
one
kind of
is old
thing.
folks home.
Is nursing homes, right?
Okay.
But there's also home care,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people want to stay in their homes longer. And so we provide home care services so that individuals can be at home as long as they want. And that's the real challenge, I think, in the senior and long-term care portfolio, is educating the public that there are many choices to care. And so, we don't want a doctor saying, it's time to think about your mom going to a nursing home, or another healthcare provider, we want them to understand that there's a whole continuum of care, from home care services to special care homes to nursing homes.
So union, we know union is protection, and union like at the Villa Providence in Shediac.
Mhm.
Have you been there?
I've not been to Shediac yet.
No, I've been there, and I was there a couple of years ago. My friend Julia died last month. But anyway, she
sorry
was
to hear
there. She was nice. But the staff were smiling, and it was like a happy atmosphere. And you seen everybody, the patients, everybody was smiling.
Mhm.
Now, if you have a happy atmosphere, that would be unionized. Doesn't that benefit everybody?
Look, there's no doubt that nursing home care workers provide extremely good care, and they love what they do. They're not
I couldn't do it.
in this profession. The forefront of their reasoning for being in this profession is because they love to not only be with seniors, but to care for seniors and or those with disabilities. And so they provide homes. They're not healthcare institutions. These are homes. And it's because of the administrators and employees of these homes that people can live a quality of life.
Have you already heard in Integrity Home Support? That's a private company that takes care of homes. Anyway, like my loving cousin, St. John, she has St. George. She has a beautiful heart.
Yeah.
And she's had to get a job. She got laid off to help old people, and it was non-union. But then she had problem with her hours. Now everybody has a story. I've been hearing these stories 40 years ago, before I even came to Fredericton, how non-union home care or nursing home or whatever, especially the home care, they're treated bad. She had to fight for her hours. She loved to deal with old people and seniors and all that. And she had to quit because the confrontation. But how can you really how can these workers in a non-unionized workplace go and complain and voice their opinion? Is there somewhere?
There is a home care association, and there's a second association as well, and they do work together. And actually, they're making great strides in the home care industry with this association in tackling standards, not just for employees but for employers. And so I believe that they will have a mechanism to be able to work through. And of course, there's always WorkSafe New Brunswick.
Yeah, more government, WorkSafe New Brunswick. We're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
What is, somebody sent me an email. What is level 3 and 4 homes? What does that mean?
Oh, okay. Well, level 3 and level 4 is the level of care that a resident would need. So level 4 is the highest level of care, meaning an individual might need an overhead lift, right, in order to service them properly and comfortably.
Okay.
You know, level 2 and 3, level 3, I believe, gets into memory care. So there's different, that's why there's level 1, which is quite low, that would be home care, right? And so it progresses through the continuum.
This person concern was, it hasn't really changed in 10 years. Again, money.
Mm-hmm.
But the standard living and the place is not up to par. How do we fix that?
Well,
besides money.
We have an inspection process, and I've known my inspectors to say that a place wasn't up to snuff.
So
we do have an inspection process.
You do have?
Absolutely.
And they enforce it?
And we enforce it.
Reinforce it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear the part about the social development get involved with prisoners forced to walk home? Prisoners that done their sentence from Miramichi or St. John or Moncton, do they offer them to, there's no provincial jail here in Fredericton, do they offer them a way to get back here?
Now that question would have to go to public safety.
Oh,
I don't believe that social development is involved in that
Carl
process.
Urquhart told me social development.
Oh, did he? Okay,
so
well.
he blamed you. He wants me to go after you.
I know.
He's a nice guy.
No, that's okay, but I do know this.
You're gonna put them up the earth for me? Go ahead.
I can tell you this, is that.
We're joking.
I do know that we have social workers who do make connections with those leaving incarceration.
Do they?
And I don't know to the level of service
You'll
what
find
we
out
do,
from me.
but I will find out for you.
Mental illness.
Yes.
Voila, mental illness. You got it right beside you.
Mm-hmm.
How come there's more? How many homes is there for mental illness? Special mental, like the mental ward here in Fredericton, it's full, I guess. And there's no really place for people with mental issues up north. Les Acadiens, same thing. And what do we do, social development, to help these people with mental issues?
Mental illness, I have a particular little passion for. It does settle itself in the Department of Health. However, I have a very keen interest in mental illness. In fact, I've just read a book, and it's called "It's Not About Us," and it's about the delivery of mental health and addiction services. I happen to feel that many of the philosophical strategies in this book pertain to my whole department, and so I am trying to very strategically talk to my colleagues in health, education, public safety,
Please don't mention that name.
to have to have a strategy.
Want to drink water?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I'm good. I got
To
no
have-
worries.
No, that's okay.
No problem, sorry.
To have better mental health services. And the thing is that we don't always need the elegant solution. We don't always need the psychiatric bed in the hospital. We do need that. But we need community delivered services that are accessible at all hours.
Community.
In the community. And that's where my hope is that I can funnel our vision.
Listen, I got a friend named Myra. She died. I know for 4 minutes. My friend died, and then make a long story short, she was living on top of me, on top of my place, and housing. And then they got her job, and then she worked at service in New Brunswick. And then after a while, they told her to move out. because she has a job. Let it to somebody else that needs housing. I said, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. So she moved out, moved into an apartment, and she got laid off 2 weeks later. Unfortunately, you don't smoke, you're
No,
coughing,
I
but she
don't.
coughed like
Yeah.
you, and she died because of smoking 2 years ago. But I was very upset that they laid her off 2 weeks after she moved out of housing. And I said, was that the way you treat people? How do you treat people that's on welfare to be part of the community? Now, okay, I got a job. I make $15 an hour full time. You make 11. Why would a personal social assistant get a job if they got housing and they have a white card, medical card, health card?
Well, it's a really good question, because that's part of the empowerment process that we want to enable people, because we don't want people to stay where they are in life if that's not what they want. If they want to be ambitious, we want to empower that ambition. And so, minimum wage is not, in my opinion, is not about, minimum wage isn't where we want people to be. We want people to be able to earn higher earnings, right? That's education. And so that's where we have to work with Petal and work with social development and work with all of our frontline people to help empower people who want to move on.
Encourage, public
and
relation
encourage,
again.
right? It is. It's about supporting.
How about a single mother with 3 kids want to live with mama? It's hard, going through a hard time, and she can't collect a welfare check because she's living with mama.
Now, under the housing policy, we have a minimum of 14 exemptions. And there's reasons for those exemptions, right?
I don't want to even ask what they are.
Well, there's many, but let me just give you a couple of cases that I'm aware of, okay? Because actually, I remember in my constituency office having an individual, a woman, who was suffering from cancer.
Yes.
And she had to leave her job and move in with her family. And she had no income. We were able to provide her with an income through the, we advocated for her.
You mean you people have a heart?
We have a heart.
Wow.
We have all kinds of hearts.
I might start send a private email on Facebook. I didn't know you
but
had
the
a heart.
exemption process, I know that some people want us to just drop it, but it's important. Like, we need to take some responsibility for saying, yes, it's okay.
Okay, now, the social worker, when they have problems at home and all that with the kids, somebody asked me, just a short answer, do they favor females over males, or what to kids? I know that's a hard question.
It's a really hard question. Let me say this.
The circumstances.
This is my opinion, is that we need to ensure that a child is with a safe parent or a safe home.
Earlier you mentioned drugs. How are we going to handle the issue of crystal meth? I know it's health, but it's still welfare, it's social development, it's mental issues. There's a major problem with the drug issues. How are we going to fix that?
We need.
It's a point of no return, crystal meth.
It's tragic. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think again, it's not just a yes or no answer, and it's not black and white. There's huge complexities to addictions, and I'm a firm believer that the multitude of addictions are based in trauma. However, crystal meth is in a little bit of a zone of its own.
Oh yes.
It's someone could recreationally try something once and they are hooked. It's horrible.
It's terrible.
And so we need to have as many community-based programs as we can so that people can get help at a very early level.
I tried cocaine once, about 40 years ago. I loved it so much, I never touched it again. Because nobody knew about ADHD, and it just gave me a body stone. I was right. So these people, they self-medicate themselves, and then, they're good, but it's causing a lot of harm.
A lot of harm.
And maybe addiction, professional. We need professional people to really deal with these people with public relations skill.
Yeah.
That's the secret right there. Now, last question. I'm having a hard time here, not yet, but I'm waiting for welfare, social development, to give me a hard time. When you turn 60, and you turn 65 and you're on welfare, and you're in housing, do they make it difficult for you? You have to take your check and give it to them, or what's the story there? Do you know?
Housing is based on need. and to a great extent on income. So I'm not aware of a policy that would have anyone evicted from housing because they turned 65. Right?
No.
There may be a reconsideration of income and how that goes, but I don't feel that there's
nobody been evicted from housing or cut off on the street and because they turned
not
65.
to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge.
Okay, last one.
I thought the other one was.
Nah, I lied. You imagine? You ever hear a politician lying?
Can't imagine it.
You imagine that?
Can't imagine
Okay.
it.
Anyway, Charlie, you're doing good. Shut up. Okay, now you're gonna love this. What is the good news? Future had some good news for people on welfare or the system. Some good news.
Well, I think there's lots of optimism out there. I think that the strategy of empowerment is really taking hold. I think we've had some real success stories. In the last fiscal year, the area of Fredericton, the regional office, assisted 283 individuals off of social assistance. That's a good news story. I think that the new housing strategy is going to, it's not going to happen overnight, but we're going to have more affordable units for people, and that's good news. And I think that we have the ability to empower people to further education, and I think that's good news.
The sad part about this, we got your little assistant on the side, and we got you, and we got me here. And outside is the bureaucrats. And you know what a bureaucrat calls a politician? Temporary help. We're only here for a short time, us. Those one outside. So are they as compassionate as you are? And like Madeleine Dubé was, and to care for the people? You want to answer that?
I do, because I firmly believe, since coming to this department in particular, remember the book I told you about? My deputy minister purchased several of those books.
Who's the deputy minister?
Eric Beaulieu.
I don't know.
And he distributed them to senior staff because he felt absolutely that we can do things in better ways, and we need to be client-centered. It can't be about us. It can't be about our 9 to 5. It can't be about those kind of restrictions and barriers that are put in front of people. It needs to be about the client.
Yes.
And the individuals here, I believe, are all have a real true focus on trying to make
Do the
our
right
services more client service centered.
That's why I have.
And we're not
Right?
perfect.
No, not
But
perfect.
we want to be better. We're going to get better, and I think we're doing a damn good job in most of the circumstances.
That's why I had a problem one day was with Bernard Lord when he came. They put 3 buildings. One education building down there, here, the main center, because the main welfare was social development. I'm doing good.
You're doing good.
Doing very good.
Yeah.
And it's funny how you could. So it's closer to the legislator. And then they put the welfare office on top of the hill, the highest peak of the city with no bus. So that was a breakdown in communication.
Yes.
We'll put those welfare people up there, so they, and stuff like that. And even now, I think we're going to get a bus shelter there. Finally, the poor people with their families, and they could at least, I'm joking. I was doing so good. Listen, how did it go? Did I miss anything?
I think you did good.
So maybe.
And it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Shook your hand. I don't usually shake the hand of a politician.
Yes.
That's the reason is the germs.
Right.
The germs. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All good.